Hey friends, it's Simon Hurley and welcome to a brand new video. Now in today's video, I'm going to be sitting down and crafting with you guys and sharing a really fun masking technique. Now this masking technique is going to save you a little bit of time and also allow you to color in using your ink pads and ink blending tools, which is one of my favorite methods of coloring. I used to hate masking, but honestly, it really does save a lot of time, especially with today's techniques. So without further ado, let's get into the video. For today's technique, we're going to use the Sentimental Flowers stamp set from Simon Hurley Create. I love this one and I've used it a bunch because it's got a bunch of different flowers in it that you can really color in and have fun with, but then a lot of sentiments to use as well, so it makes it super versatile. And don't think I haven't used it because this set is mine and I have stained these so much, but I've gotten lots of love out of this stamp set. So let's start off with a little bit of basic stamping before we get into the masking. I'm using some jet black archival ink and I'm going to stamp down my images with this. So we'll ink it up and then stamp it down onto some of my stark white cardstock. And I like stamping with jet black archival because it stays wet for just long enough that you can throw over a layer of clear embossing powder and have it stick. So I'll heat this until it's nice and clear and shiny. And then I'm gonna go in with my leaves and stamp those down too. And I have these kind of in a cluster to fit right in between that flower. So I've already kind of laid them out for when I'm stamping down. But just arrange a couple different leaves around your flower. And I'll ink this up. And we will stamp it down. And you'll notice that with this first card that I'm going to create here, those leaves are not behind the flower. They don't really need to be, but I'll share later if you want to do that. Now once this is done and nice and shiny, I can set this off to the side and we can start on our masking. Alright, so I've got my two options laid out here for the masking paper. You can either use Gina K's Masking Magic. I love this stuff for when I want something a little bit stickier, and also it lasts for a longer time because it's got this sort of coating on top of it. So that it kind of resists ink a little bit more and will hold up more over time. It also resists some kind of water media too, which I really like and I'll share later in today's video. And then you of course have the other route where if you don't have the masking paper, this is something you can try out. It's just a piece of a little bit lighter weight cardstock, I would say probably 60 pound. And this you can totally do the exact same thing with. And in fact, I'll share how to blend it, but you'll follow the same steps that we'll do for the masking paper today. So I've cut down the Gina K masking paper in half because that's really all you need to do for today's masks, depending on how large your images are. And all we're going to do is do a little bit of stamping with the exact same images. So I'll ink up my flower image and we can stamp it down. And it doesn't need to be perfect, to be honest, because these don't need to be perfect at all. We're cutting out of them. So I'll stamp that down, and then we can stamp down our leaves. And I've left the leaves in the exact same orientation as they are. This is gonna save me a little bit of time, but of course we could use this in the same orientation, or we can use them separately, which I'll share in a little bit. So I'll stamp these down. And since Gina K's has a little bit of a coating on it, what I like to do is bring in my heat tool and I'll just kind of heat set this just in case, because I don't want the ink to rub off on my hand or anything. It doesn't take too long to set into the cardstock, but I just like to be sure before I go in and cut things out. I don't want to get ink all over the place. All right, now let's start cutting these out. Now I like to use my Fiskars Spring Assist scissors. These are my absolute favorite and I'll have them linked down below. And I'm gonna go in from the edge here and I'll cut one straight line. You want to be careful when you're cutting because we're using this negative, so you want to be careful. And then all we need to do is cut around the image. And for this, the border on this image is a little bit thicker, so you don't need to be too careful, but you can kind of cut on or right in the middle of that border. You just want to make sure that you're getting it lined up there. And you want to be careful to keep this in one straight cut. Right, so I'm not gonna cut off to the edge or anything like that because we're keeping the negative fully intact. All right, so once I've finished cutting this out, we now have this negative area that is fully cut out, and then we have the positive. And you're gonna wanna keep both of these because we'll use them both in today's video. This will come in handy in just a little bit later. Now for my leaves, we have them on either side. So this one, you're just gonna want to go in, and on this side, I'll start from the edge and just come right in. And you'll notice there's a lot of little points on this. I actually just tend to kind of round that edge off and just kind of make sure, again, that you're just hitting the inside of that line, but you don't need to kind of follow every single little tiny detail like that. All right, now these are finished as well, and now we're gonna come in and do what I like to call a little bit of repair work. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of masking tape here. This is mint tape, and I'm just gonna go in on these areas and seal them up a little bit. So wherever I made that cut kind of coming into the card, I'll just go back in with a little bit of masking tape and seal that off so that it's kind of one piece again. On these leaves, we'll just do some smaller pieces and come in and tape those up. Now it's time to pull my card back in and we can start with our masking. So you can pull off from either side of Gina's masking paper, it's pretty easy, and place this down over my image. Make sure that everything is lined up when we adhere it down. And this is really nice to have the masking paper in this area because when I made it with cardstock earlier, I struggled with all of these little points in the image. That's where it's nice to have that little bit of adhesive to stick those down and make sure that they stay down when you're coloring. All right, so for the center of the flower, I'm gonna come in with a little bit of slippery when wet, and here I'm using the new rounded domed applicators, and I have really been liking these for coloring things in lately, just because they really give no like harsh edges as you're ink blending. Finally, I'll go in with a little bit of triple berry on the edge and blend that in. And honestly, these domed blending tools have kind of been a game changer for blending for me, and I think for a lot of people, because the dome really makes it so that there's absolutely no effort or skill needed. You can go in and really easily blend onto here and not have to worry at all about harsh marks or anything like that. Unlike other masking tapes or papers, you really don't have to worry that it's going to rip your cardstock or anything like that. So I'll peel that off gently, and there we have our colored in flower. So that was super easy to do with just our blending tool and our inks. Makes it so that if you're mass producing cards or things like that, you can keep reusing this mask. Now we'll go in with the leaf mask next, and I like this one because it's just so easy to line up since it has both of those images on one. And we can place this down. Now, if you've been watching my channel by now, I love doing a little bit of Psych. That's one of my favorite colors for leaves, just because of how bright it is, and it'll really create a nice solid color onto there. And then I'll fill it in with a little bit of Tropical Tango, and I love the kind of green color that it creates in between these two when you blend them together. One of my favorite blends. All right, and then we'll peel this off for the reveal. Now I also have these masks that we can use, and like I said, the Gina K Masking Magic is nice because it's got that little bit of a coating on it, and I want to create a background behind these. So what I'm going to do is take those masks that I cut out using that Masking Magic, and I'll apply some pressure down onto these so the edges are sealed, and I've got my leaves as well. I'll do the same exact thing. So for this background, I'm going to use a little bit of the Nuvo Shimmer powder because it's got that kind of coating on it that'll resist the water a little bit. So I'm just going to go in here with a little bit of that powder. A little bit goes a long way with this stuff. And then we can go in with a little bit of water and start spraying our background. And that's going to kind of make those react and give some really cool results. After giving this a little bit more thought, I realized you should probably not color it at the beginning because if this does mess up, you'll kind of waste your time there. So maybe ink blend it after you're done with making this background, but let's cross our fingers. Okay, that one's perfect. Okay, yeah, it seals it off pretty nicely, but I got a little bit nervous when I put all of that water over top of it, but yeah. This is one of my favorite masking papers just because of that kind of seal on it. If you add a little bit of water and not too much, it can create a really cool background like the one we did today. Then we'll go into the set and pick a sentiment, and one of my favorite things to do is just go in and kind of test out the different ones. I like that it comes on a clear sheet so you can really look, and I think I just want a hello friend. I think that's pretty versatile and you could use it for a lot of different occasions. So I'll take out one of my sentiment blocks that we recently just released, line it up with those grid lines to make sure it's nice and straight. We'll go in and ink this up and stamp it down. All right, so there is the finished card for this one. I like how easy this was to color it in with those masks. And then you could use the opposite masks to do this really fun watercolor background, which I thought was super cool. All right, so now that we've got our simple masking done, we've already got these masks, and now I want to show you a little bit more of a complicated technique. So I'm going to go in with my Jet Black Archival ink again and start off with my stamping. So I'm using the same exact images that we did earlier because, like I said, we've already cut the mask, which is the most difficult part, and now we can get into doing a little bit more of masking techniques with them. Then I'm going to go in with the mask that we used to mask off our background. These are still usable. That's what I like about the Gina K masking magic, is you can use it several times before you have to get rid of them. So I'm going to go in and lay this down right over top of our image. We've stamped our flower down first because we want this to be in the forefront of our card, and now we'll stamp our leaves down, which we want tucked behind our image. So I'm going to ink this up, and then we can stamp it down on this edge here, so I'll just give that some good pressure, stamp it down. Then we'll go in with these little leaves, which I'm going to do on this smaller acrylic block so that they don't get kind of smudged. So we'll do one maybe here, kind of similar to our other one, but this time we're tucking them underneath, which makes it look a lot more realistic. So then we'll go in here and do our last little leaf. I think I'll do it up here, tuck it underneath there. But I'm going to peel off my mask for that flower. And here you can see that once we've got that peeled off, this creates a nice floral with those leaves tucked underneath. All right, so let's start off with our first mask for the flower. I'm going to bring this one in and really easily lay it down. I actually found that without the clear embossing on top, the mask sticks a little bit better. Start right in the center there. And I like these domes too because you can actually just touch it really lightly with just the tip of the blender, and it doesn't make, a full complete circle because it's that dome. Then I'll go in with a little bit of clear skies next. This is kind of a weird color combination, but I ended up really liking it the first time that I did it. So we'll go in here kind of lightly with that one, just using the edge of the domed blender. These just came out and I'm already sharing some tips and tricks. I like that you're able to just use the edges and things like that to get smaller areas of color. Then last but not least, I'm going to go in with a little bit of Sidewalk Chalk, which is one of my new purple colors. I like this one because it's kind of a softer pastel color, and it goes along with the clear skies and Over the Moon really nicely. So I'll just go in on the edge and start blending this one in as well. And I love that blend. I'm not sure about you guys, but it's one of my favorites for flowers. It's kind of an unexpected one, but just test out different color combinations with Simon Hurley Create Inks. You'll have a lot of fun coming up with some new ones. Now, if your masks are becoming a little bit unsticky, I recommend just spraying it with a little coat of pixie spray, and that will kind of re-stick them. So I did that to the back of this flower, and now we're going to color in the leaves. So I'm gonna put back on this flower mask onto my image here. That's gonna mask off this flower so that we're able to go in and color in our leaves. And it doesn't need to be super sticky, it just needs to cover up the image for now. But of course, this mask is kind of on its last leg since we've used it a couple times. Now I promised you guys I would show you how to use this kind of mask too. So this one I just cut out of regular cardstock. So if you have this at home, and then I taped the back of it so that it kind of mends those areas that we cut out. And this is totally perfect as well. So for this, I'm gonna go in, and of course, if you want to, you can put a little bit of repositionable adhesive on the back of this as well. But this is going to cover up that flower area with our first mask, and then it will cover up the leaf because we got the mask on top. So it creates a nice way to color these in really easily. Now, of course, these aren't right next to each other like they were on the other one, so we'll just have to be a little bit more careful about it. So I'll find one of the smaller leaves and do that one, and honestly, there's enough ink on our ink blending tools to just go through and really quickly do this. Of course, this is just showing you guys you could totally do this with cardstock too. If that's what you guys have at home, it works perfectly to do the exact same technique. All right, now we can peel off our mask, and here we have a really awesome way to color in the flower with the leaves tucked underneath. So this is of course a more realistic look, and I love how simple it was, again, to color that in, and if I wasn't talking, it would have been even faster. I've been really liking this Tonic Studios layering die sets lately with the scalloped edges and the straight edges. So here I'm going to use the ovals, and I'm going to cut it out of that same Gina K Turquoise C colored cardstock, and I'll run it through my die cutting machine. For this, I want to create a little bit of a subtle blended effect on here, so I'm going to use the stained glass stencil. I'll just hold this down, and I'm gonna go in with a little bit of Tropical Tango. I think that's a good color for this cardstock. And we'll just go in and do a little bit of soft ink blending on here so that I can just get a light background behind those flowers for a little bit of interest. All right, so once that is complete, you can see we've got a little bit of color on there to add some interest, and that will work perfectly with my flower. I'm gonna heat set this just a little bit because I want that ink to be dry since I'm gonna do a little bit of embossing. So I always heat it first and then I'll test it with a little bit of embossing powder to make sure that it falls off. And yeah, if it comes pretty clean, then I'm done and I can do a little bit of embossing. So I've determined that the thank you is gonna fit the best onto my card. So I'm gonna take a little Sentiment acrylic black, pick that up onto there. And then I'm going to use my anti-static powder tool to make sure that no embossing powder is gonna stick onto the background. And we'll go in and do some embossing. So I'm gonna use a little bit of clear sticky VersaMark ink, and then I can stamp it down. And we'll grab a little bit of white embossing powder and sprinkle it over top. All right, so here is a look at that second card with it all put together. I love how easy it was to color that in, even with the leaves tucked underneath, using all of the different masks that we had and ink blending. I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and leave a comment down below which card was your favorite and also like which masking techniques you liked. I used to not be a fan of masking at all, but once I learned that like you can cut out a couple different masks and use them for lots of different techniques, it was a complete game changer for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you want to hang out with me a little bit more often and never miss a card making video like this one. And I'll see you guys very, very soon for another card making and crafting video. Have a great day. Bye.